Hey guys, this is Jabroni, and today I want to give you a video on some basic base identification, specifically when to use air attacks. And so taking a look at this base, for example, what should you notice? All four of these expos are set to ground. And I know this is very basic, but when you have a base where all four expos are set to ground, this is just screaming for you to take advantage of it, to exploit this choice in base design and hit it with some kind of air attack. Also, I want to give you two important things to keep in mind when doing air attacks. Number one, try to keep your heroes, meaning your Barb King, your Queen, your Royal Champion, away from the radius of the clan castle. You actually do not want to pull out things like ice golems from a clan castle on an air attack, as that can obviously slow down your air attack. You want to prevent that type of thing from happening. Also, enemy heroes can be a major problem for your dragons or E-Drags if they are near the town hall. And what I mean is they can actually temporarily distract your dragons or E-Drags from continuing on their path. They can get stuck shooting at the king, the Royal Champion, or the Queen. And so I've actually had attacks fail using dragons or E-Drags when I wanted them to go to the town hall, but instead they got distracted by the enemy heroes nearby. So let me explain the plan that I did for this base. Since this type of base seemed to be trapping the attacker if they came from the bottom left southwest side, I decided instead of coming from there, I would instead bring my dragons, actually I brought E-Drags, from the top right-hand corner. And what I did is I used super wall breakers to wall break into here, and then also to here, and then another super wall breaker to break in up here near 12 o'clock. What I decided to do was to bring my king and queen into here to take out this stuff, including the single target inferno. While the single target inferno is locked onto my king, my queen would be able to shoot it down if I use super wall breakers to break into both layers of walls. I used a baby dragon to funnel out these buildings to force my king to go inside of the walls and my queen to follow behind. Back up at 12 o'clock, I decided to bring an ice golem and my Royal Champion. The ice golem was supposed to tank for the Royal Champion so that she could path and take out these buildings here. And then from there, I would bring my E-Drags. I'd have to start one somewhere up here to try to take out these two buildings, and then bring the rest, along with the Stone Slammer, to then go in this direction. Now, with E-Drags, you have to look to see where is their chain link going to work. Whenever buildings are 0 to 1 tiles apart, the chain link will go through. So for example, there's only a wall separating the cannon and the gold mine. Same here with the wizard tower and the eagle, and also over here with the other cannon. However, you will notice there's a wall and another space that's 2 tiles separating the eagle from the single target inferno. So I knew the chain link would not work from the eagle to the single target inferno or to the air sweepers. However, between the single target inferno and the town hall, there is only 1 tile in between. And so the chain link would work through there, and the chain link can also work from the town hall to these expos, or from the air defenses to the expos, because there is only 1 wall in between. So that's the type of stuff you have to look for whenever you use E-Drags. Speaking of which, why did I not decide to bring a drag bat attack? The reason why I didn't is because normally on a drag bat, your dragons come, they take care of most of the splash damage, including the scatter shots in the wizard towers, and then you bring your bats from some location that the dragons are not going to necessarily hit to maybe take down an air defense. And the way that this base was designed, if I brought my dragons from up here, and I then brought my bats from somewhere maybe around 9 o'clock or 6 o'clock, I just didn't feel like the bats would get much of a value at all. So that's why I decided against doing a drag bat attack and using E-Drags instead. All right, so let's take a look at the attack. test balloon comes down to make sure there's not a black-seeking air mine preventing my baby dragon from being able to do its job of funneling. Super wall breaker comes down, king and queen. I bring another super wall breaker up here at 12 o'clock, along with an ice golem and the royal champion. Other super wall breaker comes to make sure my queen can get into the single target inferno compartment. Now, one thing that went wrong with this plan, the single target inferno did not end up locking onto the ice golem. Instead, it locked onto the royal champion. I should have looked better when I was scouting this base to see that the range of the single target inferno was not going to be going further out to cover over where this cannon used to be. And so I should have realized then that the ice golem might not get targeted by the single target inferno. So what I ended up having to do was use a freeze spell. I almost missed it, to save the royal champion and make sure I could get the single target inferno down. The queen got the other single target inferno down along with the air defense. Oh, and by the way, the royal champion's ability also got the other air defense up here. Something I forgot to mention when I was going over the plan is I used a baby dragon over here to take out these buildings to also try to help to funnel my E-Drags. I did not place one of my E-Drags high enough near 12 o'clock, so I had to quickly put 2 minions down to take down the Dark Spell Factory to prevent my E-Drags from starting to go up to the left. I wanted my E-Drags to path towards the eagle. So from here, I used balloons to test for any black-seeking air mines, brought the E-Drags, I brought the Stone Slammer over here a little bit further to the right, and now it's just a matter of using rage spells, freeze spells, so obviously I have to freeze the enemies of E-Drags, which are your air sweepers, scatter shots, any single target inferno. You saw there was still one remaining. Freezing air defenses is not a bad idea. Freezing the town hall is not necessarily a bad idea. And actually freezing the enemy queen or royal champion was part of my plan. I honestly forget if I ended up freezing either one of those. Warden's ability is used to keep the E-Drags alive through the town hall's explosion. I meant there, I think, to freeze the enemy queen. I think I got her. I can't honestly remember. But from here, this plan was, working just as ideally as I wanted it to work out. Obviously, that doesn't always happen, but from here you can see I have 6 E-Drags remaining out of 7. And so from here, it's just a matter of cleanup. Full disclosure, the clan castle actually was empty, and I didn't realize that. When this attack ended up working, I initially thought to myself, oh, they must have had 3 ice golems. Lucky me. Obviously, E-Drags are not going to lure out ice golems. But in hindsight, there were no clan castle troops, so hey, benefit for me. But guys, I wanted to make this video for you to explain some simple tips on using air attacks. Don't try to lure out the enemy clan castle. Be aware of where enemy heroes are because they can distract your air troops. And also look for pathing for the chain link for E-Drags versus when you might want to use a drag bat attack. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time.